This is RavExel here, very proud to cast the last semifinal. That's right, whoever wins this game right here goes on to the final to face the #1 seed team. So very exciting, seems extremely high level of play in some of these games, and looking forward to see who comes on top for the epic final here at Raiders Esports Center. Special thanks to the OeSL, Ontario Esports League, for putting this together. That's tireless work to go ahead and put on a tournament, and these guys, they're really putting in all the stops. Special thanks out to Joshua and Christian, the two guys, for heading it out, and they are doing their best to make the best type of tournaments, the absolute highest level of competition. And hey, if you've never been to Raiders, it is the esports mecca in Toronto. So you got to get down here and come try and catch a tournament. Come here, play some of the games yourself. Hey, I even had some chicken souvlaki. It was really good. You should try the chicken. But here we got these teams are all loaded up. And I'm going ahead and spectating Vic. I don't know him personally. I did see a current Plat 1 ranking, so the guy knows how to play. Let's see if he stutter steps, if he wooves, he grooves, if she knows how to exploit the map. Now, this is 7.14 patch, so Caitlyn did have an attack speed nerf, but that still hasn't stopped her from being picked competitively. She's still the same sort of lane bully. She still gets her first tower. She's still able to siege and pick up objectives. And of course, she's still the crazy 6-item monster. But here we have very unusually a Kale on the team. So lots of damage threats, lots of dive on the team on the right, and then they can go ahead and follow up with a Kale ultimate to protect whoever is taking those tower shots or is getting bursted. And over on the other side, we have, oh, it's fun. It's amazing. It's the Blitzcrank. So we're going to see if he's got the prey hooks, the god hooks. And he's got lots of targets. He just needs to get them away from Kale ulting whoever he pulls. But we have Malachi. Now, we have seen him in this tournament. He did go top lane. So he had a very good lane against a Teemo. Had some great farm. Was there for the team fights. Did some great dives. And really was everything they needed. So, all right, we're on to the Rift. Very excited. July 22nd here at Raiders, OeSL, Ontario Esports League. If you haven't heard about them, you need to come check them out. They are the new thing here in the GTA, throwing all kinds of tournaments all across the city. And it's just a pleasure casting for them. So myself, RavExel, we did have a co-caster, Mr. Gold, the ineffable Mr. Gold, and he had to take off, and it was really nice to cast 3 games with him. Did an excellent job, throwing some zingers there, made some funny Trump comments, but he had to go do gold things because it's a Saturday and the gold man's got to do what the gold man's got to do. But here we are, finally on the Rift, and we're going to go ahead and line up these champions for you. We got Kale top against the Malachi. So that's right, it's a Malachi top, not jungle, as you see in competitive play. So we're going to go ahead and line this up for everyone. Looking good. Blitzcrank, you're a support. You're going to go against Leona. And no invading just as of yet. So blue team spreading out, doing a very efficient position where you're basically looking at all the entrances, and Blitzcrank just heading off to the side of the wall here, seeing if he can pull up a lucky hook. Maybe it also helps to have a ward somewhere around here, but not wanting to take the chance. This blue team thinks they can win straight up, and we're going to see if they do. We have lots of CC on the blue team. We're going to try to lock down a target. Blitzcrank's going to try to land a hook. Malachi can TP in with a twisted advance. And of course, Vi, she's the ultimate CC. Her ultimate, it always hits. And unless you cleanse it or do something amazing, it's going to hit, and it's so easy. All you have to do is hit the R button, and you just go for a ride. Standard start. Looks like blue team's going to be helping out their jungler, but look, no help for Elise. What is this? What's their team doing? No help from Ari? Oh, come on. She really wants your help. Look how much damage she's going to be taking here in the jungle. That's less than half health. What a mistake. You're not really expecting this in high-level play. same with that. You can't. You can move back, but you can't let it reset. And she's going to have to go ahead and smite that just like that. And once she goes ahead and kills these minions, is going to get level 2, but pretty much has to move back. Very unusual for the Leona starting the E. Almost all the time you see Leona starting Q to get that stun. But, you know, she knows what she's doing and went ahead and E'd in and tried to get some damage. We twisted advance onto the Kale, went ahead and Q'd back. Minions, unfortunately, attacking Maokai. So did a great engage there, but Kale able to use the minions to her control and getting a little bit of a lead in this lane. Farm is a slightly advantage of Maokai, but the wave's going to be pushing towards him. And we're going to have to see how this goes. Kale out of the meta. It'd be very interesting to see what she builds, whether it's like a Runon's Hurricane, probably a Runon's Hurricane. But you know what? She's never played, and it'll be interesting to see. Maokai not known to punish top lane opponents, but Kale has a very, very amazing scaling. So should be able to outscale Maokai into the late game. He's going to want to try to split push, as she could split push much, much more effectively and take down those towers quicker than Maokai can. Maokai looking to be the team fight difference. Looking to do just like we saw before from the same team. Ju Jingyi being in the right place at the right time and landing all that CC and being that unstoppable tree tank. So we see the bot lane pushed in. Farm's pretty even once these minions are picked up. There should only be a couple of down. Mid lane, pretty even. Oh, beautiful hook with the knock-up. And Leona going down in the engage. But we have Elise coming down for the gank. She's not sure if she wants to go or not. She's got double buffs, but deciding the better of it, seeing how low that Leona is. But beautiful pathing. That's exactly the way you want to be going. And going to go ahead and lock up that first blood for Elise. So it'll be interesting to see Elise whether she goes the Cinder Hulk build, which is not popular in high-level solo queue. It can be built in high-level competitive if you need more tank, and frankly, they could use some tank on their team. But, oh, just as I was just speaking, First Blood was down in the bottom that Elise picked up, and then in the top, you had Vi picking up that kill onto the Kale. So not the start that Kale wanted. Didn't have a ward up there, and it unfortunately died. And now she's going to be at a slight disadvantage against Maokai. And really, you want to be trying to get a lead, and losing that early farm and learning XP is not going to help Kale's lane at all. So beautiful hook. That's 2 for 2 right now from the Blitzcrank. It's going to be a really bad day for Red Team if Blitzcrank keep landing these hooks, and not only that, under tower as well. Beautifully aimed, got the Caitlyn twice, and Leona's doing the best she can to protect Caitlyn. Personally, I don't really like the Leona Caitlyn. You're basically banking on the Leona going in, stunning, and then Caitlyn placing a trap under whoever Leona stuns to get the maximum amount of CC. That's 3 CC abilities, and hopefully Caitlyn will have the damage, but she doesn't really have damage early on. Yes, she can be a lane bully. Yes, she can poke out her opponents, but she's normally only builds attack speed early and then moves into damage. So we're going to have to see how she's able to work this lane. Great play from the Blitzcrank so far. Yes, he died, but that was from a well-timed and well-executed gank by Elise. Not much you could have done there. Blitzcrank landing the hooks, and that's what you got to do as the hook master. So there we have that top lane lead. We do have Kale dying a second time, so must have walked right in the lane and then died a second time. Didn't quite see that one, but that's Vi picking up the kill as well. Wonder if she's going to go, well, she is going attack speed items, so she is going to be going aggressive. So with 2 kills here, you sometimes want to be either doing a damage item or a Trinity Force, which is very popular. And so with the 2 daggers, we're going to have to see what she's going to build. But getting the warding jungle item, though, at first. So just a small 500 gold lead here from the blue team, and that's what you get when you get first blood and you have an extra kill. It's an ocean dragon for the first dragon, so not something that we're going to see a pre-minute 10-minute dragon most of the time. You generally want to prioritize first turret gold over an ocean dragon, but we're going to have to see. We have Ari roaming down here from the mid lane, and Oriana. Oh, the team must have been calling her because she's coming down into her red side jungle instead of going to farm that mid lane. But we have an engage here on the bottom. Caitlyn, unfortunately, is being caught out, and Blitzcrank It was the one lucky one to pick it up. He's just standing by the tower here. He wants to go ahead and hook under the tower, so he should have an ability right now. He does have hookup, but doesn't want to steal the kill. And we have an awesome 3-kill advantage now for blue team. Let's see what they go ahead and take. They could try to take an early dragon here, but it doesn't really look like that's what they're going to be prioritizing. They're going to be going back to base and picking up items shortly. Bot lane's pushing, and mid lane's going back to push as well. Whoa, and there we have 3 times a charm. Maokai now with the significant lead, already with the Bomby Cinder, and this is not where you want to be as Kale. Trust me, I am a Kale player, and you do not want to be in this situation. It is very, very hard. You just want to try to farm under your turret, but all you can really do is when you get dived is ult yourself, and that's generally not enough. This Maokai will have the CC and the tank to be able to start diving her, and I do expect for Vi to keep coming top lane and keep advancing this lead. Already now 3-0-2. That's 5 out of 6 kill participation. Really good job on the Vi. That's the Trump. Well, hey, the Trump was big last time, and he's big again, but not on the red side. So no red Trump jokes. Just, you know, he's winning support from blue, and he's winning all over the place. So kind of like Charlie Sheen, he's just winning. But now we have a 2,000 gold lead. Definite advantage for the blue team. Leona not able to pick up that control ward, and as you can see, it now does regenerate. I'm not sure how I feel about that, it being able to regenerate. It doesn't really make too much of a difference in my games, but I haven't heard too much negative about it, so I guess people like it. So let's see if we can catch this kill here, just as predicted. Vi going up top lane, like getting Maokai the kill. Didn't really let him have it, but Maokai took it for himself, and is going to be pushing this tower, tanking these minions so that as many of his minions can live to go ahead and push the tower. He wants to get tower damage, and he's going to be taking this tower way below mid. TP about 20-25 seconds right now on Kale, and I do expect Kale to TP into this tower, but that's only if she knows that she can save it. Not a lot of damage on Maokai. He's mostly looking to clear minion waves. I do expect them to back after this wave, but we're going to see if this Maokai is just so confident that he's not going to back and just wants to get this early first tower. So we're going to have a recap. Let's take a look at the gold abilities. We do have a jungler coming down here, and I will go ahead and switch back once we do have the action. But in top lane, a massive 1,500 gold lead at 9 minutes 30 seconds. That is just catastrophic for red team. Elsewhere, we have an 800 gold lead for Vi over her jungle counterpart. A small 400 lead for Orianna. Caitlyn, about even, a little bit up on the Jhin, and supports don't really matter. It's only about 100 gold lead for the Blitzcrank, and that's just from getting those stacks. So it'll be really interesting to see where the next objective is prioritized for blue team. I do predict possibly a top tower being the first tower to go down, and I don't know if the dragon's going to be taken. Probably a little bit easier to take the Rift Herald since you're winning top lane so much than to go ahead and risk a dragon fight with bot lane going even. Yeah, you're up a little bit. I mean, yeah, Caitlyn's up a little bit of CS, but you don't want to be having any sort of contention point for a chance for you to fall back in the game. 2,600 gold now. It's just increasing so fast. It's so hard to keep track of. But Maokai pushing in these waves very easily. Going ahead and definitely going to be rushing that Sunfire Cape. I believe that was the same build that Ju Jingyi did last time when we saw him, Maokai top. Does have the TP up. Both top laners have the TP up, so we're going to see if there's going to be any sort of team or dragon fight. I'm sure Maokai is very happy just to continue getting kills on this Kale and would love to get that first tower gold. Go ahead, she goes it, and not even enough time to get the ultimate off, unfortunately, from Kale. And this is just a really effective top and jungle combo, damage and CC, being able to lock up this Kale. And that's 5 deaths in the first 11 minutes and the first tower. So not prioritizing the dragon, but very smartly going ahead and getting that first tower gold, and balloons the lead up to 4,000 now at the 11-minute 30-second mark. But we have a counter play, 4 men on bottom from red team. Blue just should just let this go. There's no point fighting for this. But doesn't even listen. We have Blitzcrank once again with a perfect hook onto the dead champion that could be damaged and could be killed, and that is Leona. But we have Maokai coming in. He's just so tanky right now. He was taking on 3 or 4 people. And with the beautiful hook by the Blitzcrank, once again, MVP Blitzcrank, he is just everywhere. I don't know if give it to the Blitzcrank or the Vi. Just all kinds of action going on around the map, and blue team is getting ahead at every juncture. That's not where you want to be as Kale. I think she's tilting a little bit. I'm sorry, Kale, but you don't want to be checking that bush with no vision, with no teammates. You just want to probably go back to top lane and start farming. Really, blue team could be doing a lane swap at this point, sending their bottom lane up to the top side if they want to get pressure on the Rift Herald. But really, everything they're doing is correct right now, and Vi is going to go back and ward. He did go for the Stinger, so it's going to be getting that Trinity Force. Sorry, going for that Trinity Force, and once she gets it, which should be within the next 5 to 7 minutes if she keeps up at this pace, and she'll just be a force. It's going to be a huge power spike for her, and yeah, 13 minutes, no dragon taken. Nobody's even sniffing at a dragon, but Rift Herald is up. 2 members of red team are in the top side. Maokai just solo farming top, really almost doubling Kale's farm, but like I said before, Kale is a scaling monster, so if red team can drag this out, we could see blue team having a little bit of trouble trying to deal with her damage. When you have a Caitlyn on your team and a Kale, you know you're not going to be losing the scaling battle normally. And I know it's a lot to ask for, but they just have to slow things down, protect their towers, protect that mid tower. If you're red team, you really want to be letting dragon go. It's not really that important. Red chasing for a kill, and Ari unfortunately missing that, but that is the flash away from the jungler. And we'll see. It looks like they're finally going around to dragon. Any team that can kind of get a lead in this skirmish is going to be taking that dragon. It seems like they're motioning towards. It's all the energy is flowing into this dragon. But what helps taking a dragon is the scuttle. But not even that. Maybe blue team's going to go towards mid lane. Just putting pressure all over the map. Red at least able to get the blue buff over to Ari. She's 0-2-0, decent farm. But who's farming really good is Caitlyn at 131 at 14 minutes 30 seconds. Well, Blitzcrank still hitting CC, and when you combine a Maokai with that, there's really no getting away. That's 3-0-5 for the Maokai. Jhin, so strong in the meta right now. The lethality items are very broken. That's even with the hotfix. This tournament is happening after the 714 Dustblade hotfix, which reduced Night Stalker's damage from Jhin because it was just ridiculously high at the early levels. And here, Blitzcrank, he's just not missing hooks. I just love that feeling when you're the crank. You clearly can't do anything wrong. You're so confident. You just put yourselves in dangerous situations. Like, look at this, diving tower and pulling their tank support back in the tower. And that's because you know you have your team backing you up for damage. At 7,000 gold lead at 15 minutes. This game is spiraling out of control. Really, there has to be some vision put up from red team. They have to try to get some sort of numbers advantage, but it's so difficult when the Maokai is ignoring the top lane. He hasn't been top lane in so long. He's just been roaming from middle to bottom to dragon to middle to bottom to in the jungle, going all over the place. And really, at this point, with Maokai and your team fight group, you're just not going to lose that team fight. No congestion from red, but you really shouldn't. It's not worth it. You don't want to get caught out in the jungle here. A little bit of a beautiful hook. I, as a Blitzcrank player, just love seeing those hooks. It wasn't blind or anything, but it was a great prediction from the walking speed. And Maokai is just there to clean it up. 4-0-6 for the Maokai. I wonder what he's going to build for his next item. Really, it could be anything. You are seeing a lot of magic damage on the red team, so I would imagine he would prioritize Spirit Visage. And maybe you might see a couple of Hex Drinkers out from Vi or from Jhin. Like you get the damage, you get the magic resist, and as well as you get a funky shield to help protect you every once in a while. So they're just going anywhere they please, bottom to mid to dragon to bottom to mid, and there's not much that red team can do. They're going to go ahead and leave this mid tower. At this point, at 15-1, 8,000 gold lead. There's not really anything they could be doing to save that. You are banking on a blue team over aggression, but because this is a so important game that's going to lead to the finals, nobody wants to start throwing this from blue team. And really, it's just Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank died the one time, so his team's probably chewing him out right now. But I mean, he's hit enough hooks to make a difference and to say, hey team, I'm doing work too. You know, you can maybe forget that I died. And going ahead and landing a whole bunch of CC onto Leona, and there's really nothing you could do. Command Shockwave, Maokai Ultimate. Maokai prioritizing the Rift Herald before helping his team. A little bit of indecision there, a little bit of back and forth. Looks like they might finally get the shutdown gold on Vi, 6-1 and 3, and Jin's just able to clean up with his curtain call. Beautiful last shot. I just love the skill shot prediction from this team. I can't wait if they make it to see this team in the final. Ju Jingyi, the Trump, I'm Tofu, Dead Nuts, and Konsul. Wow, great names as well. Well, Rift Herald used here in the mid lane. Nobody wants to come mid to defend this. 2 players top. You should never have 2 players top as red, splitting the farm. The team is just going all over the place. Not really sure what to do now that this game has gotten so far out of hand. I'm not sure if there's going to be a surrender at 20 minutes. We haven't seen a surrender yet, so that just goes to show, how much these players want to win. They want to give it their all for this tournament. This is a cash tournament. There is a big first cash prize, and both teams want it, and they're not going to surrender in any reason. This is money, by the way. And not only that, the title of being able to win the Ontario Esports League of Legends tournament, 7.14 patch, July 22nd. I don't know what you want to call it, but here at Raiders Esports Center, just fabulous hosts. I've been here twice now for OeSL's event. Had the pleasure of casting both. And I can't wait to come back. It's just good times every time we come here at Raiders, and all kinds of events as well. Just like Ontario Esports League, they're all over the city. They're doing all types of games. They're doing all types of sports games, fighting games, first-person shooter. Really, they're doing most of the major games with CS:GO and Dota 2 and Hearthstone. Definitely becoming a big part of this Toronto scene. But we have Leona getting bursted out. She just doesn't have the tank right now at 0 and 6. And went ahead and finished her Moby Boops. But what's the use of Moby Boops when all you do is run in and die? All you can do is land a couple CCs before somebody finishes you off. Still getting the blue buff on Ari, but it's a little bit too late. Mid lane and bot lane still farming very well for red team, considering how far the game has advanced. But blue team not even necessarily prioritizing farm. They're just going in for kills and objectives, and there has to be a major shift in the game shortly, or it's going to get too far out of control for red team to come back. Let's see if they try to defend this turret. Ari with the beautiful charm onto Vi. That was the target there. Maokai was trying to be in the way as the big tree she is. But here we go. Engage onto Kale. Ultimate used on her. And now she won't have this for this next fight. But meanwhile, there we have it. Leona jumping in with those Moby boosts, getting in there, but unfortunately dying without the team being able to give her the damage to back her up. Okay, looks like they're going to be going for a engage. We have the curtains call, slowing down all kinds of members. Double kill there. A double kill for the team. And then we have Jin finishing off the turret. Oh, you want to be diving that, guys. It doesn't really matter that Caitlyn's in the base. Just getting every which way, trading the arrow, aggro. So much CC, they can just go back, forth, left, right, up, down, front, center. And the minions pour in. It looks like we're going to be having our first inhibitor of the game. No, Leona, you don't want to be doing that. You have no turret now. Come on. Oh, well, that's okay. She just wants to dive in and get some airtime, and I can't blame her. She went ahead and built the Aegis to try to mitigate some of this ability power, but there's a lot more than ability power than that that's affecting them right now, and with two members at 8 deaths, Kale and Leona, there's just not much way out of this game here without without an L. I mean, we have a dragon coming up in 8 seconds, so it looks like it's going to be free for blue team, and they're just going to go ahead and pick this up. It's an infernal dragon, as we're seeing by the graphic, and just going to help them win that last team fight in order to finish off this game. I predict them heading back to buy some items right now, but maybe they don't want to lose any more turrets. They've already lost one, and maybe that was a bigger insult than we thought. Right now, Blitzcrank can just land hooks on anybody, and Leona is not tanky enough to be able to survive this. But we do have Kale. Does she save the ultimate for herself? Of course she does. She doesn't want to die at 9th time, but she still does. They're both even at 9. And you know what? That's the way a team should be. You should, if you're dying 8 times and somebody else dies 9, you should join them to die in the 9th time. You know, it's only fair. It's good teamwork. They're going ahead and damaging this dragon, but that's only because of the Sunfire cape on Maokai. Hit it inadvertently, and I guess they figure while they're clearing vision, while they picked up the double kill, they may as well get this Baron, you know, for good measure. Now, if they lose this here, I'm going to have to say poo-poo on the Trump, and really, anyone who dives in is just getting bursted. Let's see if Elise can do it. Blue team doing a very good job. Going ahead and picking up the kill on the jungler before Vi smiting. Very, very good Baron control. They stopped hitting it there towards the end. Elise had no choice but to go and try hitting the Baron to get it down for a steal. And they're having minions pushing right up the mid lane, 29-3. This game could not get any more lopsided, and the second inhibitor will be going down. They could be attempting to finish the game, but we have Orianna getting the blue buff, Blitzcrank trying to come with a team. He wants to be having fun, some fun too. He does have 4 kills, 15 assists, but he wants to have some fun. He wants to pull some more. Not sure if he's going to get the chance. Maokai, he's just so tanky. He can really stand in front of this team for a good 10 seconds and not even die, and that we're seeing the case right now. Beautiful positioning. This is where you want your tank, right here in the front, and the damage follow-up. What more can you say? I'm so excited to see this final. This blue team, I've had the pleasure of casting 2 of their games, and they've looked very strong in both of them, and I can't wait to see them in the final. Very, very smooth, careful play, not a lot of deaths. Maokai top being surprisingly strong, getting leads in both times that we've seen him. Maokai's not supposed to win lane, but here he has dominated both lanes he's been in. And yeah, Vi just having a little bit of fun, diving in. And they're going to let the minions finish that off. Very, very good game. And we have ourselves a final. So looking forward for the final cast. And this is RavExel. Going to give one more shout out to my good casting duo, Mr. Gold. Had to take off for the end of this event, but I'm sure you're going to be seeing him more in the future, as we are 2 Frenchmen, 1 cast. This is RavExel from the OeSL July 22nd League of Legends tournament here at Raiders Esports Center.